Pontefract, England, a town steeped in history and shadowed by legend. Within its borders lies a nondescript council house at 30 East Drive. This unassuming home, however, harbors a dark and terrifying secret. It is known as the most haunted house in England. Built upon a centuries-old plot of land, the house sits atop a crossroads. This is a place where ancient paths converge and some say, a gateway for something sinister from beyond. The house's very foundation seems to whisper tales of tragedy, despair, and restless spirits. For those brave enough to step inside, a palpable sense of dread hangs in the air. The temperature drops, and an oppressive weight settles upon the chest. There is a feeling of being watched, of being judged by unseen eyes. Many have entered this house seeking answers. Few have left without a chilling story to tell. The haunting of 30 East Drive is intrinsically linked to a malevolent entity known as the Black Monk of Pontefract. Legend has it that he was a 16th-century Cluniac monk who met a gruesome end. Accused of the rape and murder of a young girl, he was hanged on the very grounds where the house now stands. His death, however, was far from the end. Instead, it marked the beginning of his reign of terror as a vengeful spirit. The Black Monk, it seemed, was not content to simply move on. He lingered, his rage and sorrow festering in the soil. Over the centuries, whispers of the Black Monk have echoed through Pontefract's history. He became a local legend, a terrifying boogeyman whispered about in hushed tones. Some dismissed the stories as mere superstition, but others knew the truth. The Black Monk was real, and his thirst for vengeance was far from quenched. The house at 30 East Drive, built upon the site of his execution, became a conduit for his rage. It was a beacon, drawing him in and amplifying his power. Woe betide those who dared to cross his path. In the summer of 1966, a young family moved into 30 East Drive, unaware of the horrors that awaited them. The Pritchards, a seemingly ordinary family, were about to become the Black Monk's latest victims. Jean and Joe Pritchard, along with their teenage children, Philip and Diane, were initially charmed by the house. It was spacious, affordable, and promised a fresh start. Little did they know that they had stepped into a nightmare. From the moment they crossed the threshold, the family was plagued by a sense of unease. Doors slammed shut on their own. Footsteps echoed in the dead of night. The temperature fluctuated wildly. At first, they dismissed these occurrences as the quirks of an old house. They would soon learn that something far more sinister was at play. Section 4. The Haunting begins. The disturbances began subtly, almost imperceptibly. Objects moved slightly out of place. Whispers seemed to emanate from the walls. The family dog, a normally boisterous Labrador, cowered in fear, whimpering at unseen presences. Then, the activity escalated. Pictures flew off the walls, shattering on the floor. Furniture moved as if pushed by invisible hands. Lights flickered and died, plunging the house into darkness. The Black Monk was making his presence known. The family found themselves trapped in a terrifying game of cat and mouse with an entity they could not see but felt all around them. Fear permeated every corner of 30 East Drive. The Pritchards were living on a knife edge, their once peaceful home transformed into a prison of terror. Section 5. A Reign of Terror. As the haunting intensified, the Black Monk's true nature became horrifyingly clear. He was not simply a mischievous spirit. He was a malevolent entity, driven by a rage that seemed to transcend death itself. Diane, the youngest of the family, seemed to be the focal point of the Black Monk's fury. She was physically attacked, dragged from her bed, and left with bruises on her neck. Her pleas for help were met with skepticism from the authorities. The Black Monk's reign of terror continued unabated. The family was subjected to relentless torment. Their physical and mental states deteriorated under the constant strain. The house at 30 East Drive, once a symbol of hope and new beginnings, had become a living hell. Section 6. The Black Monk remains. The haunting at 30 East Drive is one of the most well-documented cases of paranormal activity in the UK. Despite enduring years of relentless terror, the Pritchard family remained in the house for over a decade, desperate to find a solution to their nightmare. Eventually, the family moved out, unable to endure the torment any longer, but the Black Monk remained. To this day, 30 East Drive stands as a chilling testament to the power of the unknown. It is a place where the veil between our world and the next seems perilously thin. The Black Monk's spirit, fueled by centuries of rage, shows no sign of abating. He remains bound to that house, a terrifying reminder that some wounds, even death, cannot heal. And so, the legend continues. A chilling tale whispered in the shadows, a stark warning to those who dare to question the darkness that lurks just beyond our perception. The Black Monk of Pontefract waits, and he will not be denied.